Good morning. Welcome to the Millionaire Book Club. My name is Pearlie Hunter. Side effects of tapping in with me every single morning do include personal development, mindset transformations, paradigm shifts, and the ability to think your way to success. So I am super blessed this Monday morning. Super grateful. Please drop me something that you are grateful for in the chat. If you go back and watch this replay, drop me something that you're grateful for in the chat, please. I am grateful for you. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for another chance to serve in my purpose. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my spouse. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for love. I'm grateful for light. I'm grateful for nature. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for personal development. I'm grateful for discipline. I'm grateful for my Reiki that I received last night. I had a sound bath Reiki and healing for the new moon. It was beautiful. I'm grateful for all of the support I have. I'm grateful for my guides, my angels, my ancestors. I'm grateful for everything and everybody, you guys. So drop me something that you are grateful for. We're going to go ahead and get the daily word read. Pull our card and get our read started. And this read is, the last chapter of this book. So the last chapter of Think Like a Monk, we are starting today. So I'm excited. All right. So today is Monday, August 9th. And the word of the day is world peace. Okay. World peace. A river of peace flows freely throughout the world. One of my favorite hymns contains the line, "I've got peace like a river in my soul." Today, as I think of world peace, I see it as a river flowing freely from person to person, community to community, and country to country, filling hearts and souls and providing an avenue for understanding and compassion. Just as a river winds and flows, the ways to achieve peace continue to evolve. Needs and goals may change, populations may require different resources, and leaders may come and go. When minds and hearts are open to peace, a flow of ideas and solutions leads to a common good. When people are willing to work together for peace and harmony, we come together to bless the world. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. Psalm 46:4. Okay, so world peace. Pray for humanity, right? Not just for yourself. Pray for humanity. Pray for peace and understanding and love and joy and light for everyone. Everybody. Okay. So let's pull us a card. It's the Four Agreements card deck. This was the fifth book we read in the book club, and we will be starting book 10 soon, sooner than later. Okay. So always do your best. Stay in the present moment. Okay. Always do your best. Stay in the present moment. Keep your attention on today and stay in the present moment. This is the beginning of a new understanding, a new dream. Okay. And then be impeccable with your word. Okay. Be impeccable with your word. Release the need to be right. Release the need to be right. Be impeccable with your word. When you believe something, you assume you are right, and you may even destroy relationships in order to defend your position. Let go of the need to defend your position. Okay. So I like both of these cards. They are both like blue, right? So that is a synchronicity, right? They both blue. Could be representing the throat chakra, maybe some communication, the third eye chakra, some intuition. Just tap in today, right? Be impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Always speak from your highest with love and light. So Barb said, I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for his mercy, for his grace, and for his love. And I'm grateful for my husband and my children, grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for peace in my life. I'm so, so grateful for the Millionaire Book Club. I'm grateful for you being faithful with the reading that you do. It blesses me so much. I am just so grateful, grateful, grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Queen. I'm grateful for you. Thanks for sharing. Yes, you definitely keep me going. You, Crystal, you know, y'all keep me going, keep me wanting to show up. I definitely feel like things been being tested, right? Everybody been being tested though. And I know it's not just me, it's me and it's everybody around me as well. So if you've been being tested, you know, just stay the course, stay showing up for yourself every day, because honestly, that's all we can keep doing, right? Stay in alignment, stay turning those negatives into positives, and stay showing up every single day. So thanks for sharing, Queen. Thanks for your appreciation. I'm grateful for you as well. All right. So this is going to be the next book we read. So if you need to order this, go ahead and get it. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Our 10th book in the book club. I want to end the year with Think and Grow Rich, just so y'all know. Think and Grow Rich is what I plan to end the year with. I think that'll be a good ending to our first year. All right, so we are starting on page 254 with chapter 11, which is service. If I say something that resonates with you, please drop an MOC in the chat. MOC means moment of clarity. It's my way to connect with you guys, to know that you're taking value, you're learning something new. And yeah, so MOC, moment of clarity, right? Those light bulb moments, those aha moments, okay? So service, chapter 11. Plant trees under whose shade you do not plan to sit. Plant trees under whose shade you do not plan to sit. The ignorant work for their own profit. The wise work for the welfare of the world. Okay? And that's in the Bhagavad Gita 325. The ignorant work for their own profit. The wise work for the welfare of the world. I am a novice at the ashram, and we've been dropped off in a village with no money and no food, with the mission to find our own way for 30 days. The weather is decent, and we've been given a warehouse for shelter. We leave our mats there and venture into the village. There are simple huts from which people sell food, spices, and sundries. Laundry is strung between the huts. Most people travel by bike or on foot. Some of the children are barefoot. Untethered, without a plan, the first thing we feel is fear, which provokes us to do whatever it takes to survive. We ask for handouts. People in India are generous and often give bread, fruit, or coins to people in spiritual dress. We visit the temple where pilgrims are given free food called prasad. This is sanctified food that is offered to God, then handed out. Anxious about our survival, we resort to selfishness and hoarding. Good morning, Queen Shannon. Welcome. By the second week, we're in better shape. We figured out that we can earn our provisions by offering help to people in the village. We start assisting people with heavy loads or peddlers who could use a hand with their carts. We soon learn that opening our hearts and souls encourages others to do the same. The donations we receive aren't dramatically different from the ones we got when we first arrived, but the exchange gives us a warm sense of communal compassion and generosity. And I feel like I've absorbed the lesson of our journey. We thought we had nothing, and indeed, we had barely any material possessions, but we were still able to give people our effort. However, by the final week, we're well fed and secure enough to notice something deeper. Though we had come with nothing, we still had a certain kind of wealth. We are stronger and more capable than a lot of the people in the village. There are seniors, children, and disabled people on the street, all of them in greater need than we are. I feel bad, one monk says. This is short term for us. For them, it's forever. I think we're missing something, I add. We can do more in this village than survive. We recall Helen Keller's refrain, I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet. This is unfortunately no exaggeration. In India, you often see people with missing limbs. I realize that now that we have found our way, we can share the food and money we have received with those who aren't as able as we are. Just when I think I've learned the lesson of our journey, I come upon a revelation that affects me profoundly. Everyone, even those of us who have already dedicated our lives to service, can always give more. These 3 stages of transformation felt like a microcosm of the entire monk experience. First, we let go of the external and the ego. Second, we recognize our value and learn that we don't need to own anything in order to serve. And third, we continually seek a higher level of service. On that trip, I recognized that there is always room to rise. There is always more to give. Sister Christine Vladimiroff, a Benedictine nun, as quoted in The Monastic Way, wrote, monastic spirituality teaches us that we are on a journey. The journey is inward to seek God in prayer and silence. Taken alone, we can romanticize this aspect of our life. But to be monastic, there is a parallel journey, the journey outward. We live in community to grow in sensitivity to the needs of others. The monastery is then a center to come out of and to invite others into. The key is always to maintain both journeys, inward and outward. Okay? So I feel like that's basically saying, even though on this journey, stay connected to your human side, your human experience, right? Don't go so inward or get so high up on your spiritual high horse that you fail to realize that you are still human, right? Don't be so outside of yourself and outside of your body, not meditate and not practicing, mindfulness and things like that, and not doing none of that. And you just so focused on the outward. You want this good balance. Always, the key is to always maintain both journeys, inward and outward. Okay. The highest purpose. In his lecture at my college, Garanga Das had inspired me when he said, plant trees under whose shade you do not plan to sit. That sentence captivated me and launched me on a trajectory I had never imagined. And now I have to make a confession. I've been holding out on you. We have talked about how to let go of the influences of external noise, fear, envy, and false goals. We have explored how to grow by harnessing our minds, our egos, and our daily practices to live in our Dharma. All of this is toward the goal of leading, fulfilling, meaningful lives, a worthy path. But here and on social media and in my classes and in every medium in which I teach, I haven't yet revealed the most important lesson I learned as a monk, and one that I carry with me every day of my life. Drum roll, please. The highest purpose is to live in service. It's not that I've been keeping service a secret. I mention it often. But I've waited until now to talk about the central role I believe it should play in all of our lives. Because frankly, I think most of us are somewhat resistant to the idea. Sure, we want to help those in need. And maybe we already find ways to do so. But we are limited by the pressure and needs of our own work and lives. We want to solve our own issues first. Jay, I'm the one who needs help. I have so much to figure out before I can devote myself to helping others. It's true. It's hard to think about selflessness when we are struggling. And yet that is exactly what I learned as a monk. Selflessness is the surest route to inner peace and a meaningful life. Selflessness heals the self. Monks live in service, and to think like a monk ultimately means to serve. The monastic way quotes Benedictine monk Dom Elred Graham as saying, "The monk may think he has come to the monastery to gain something for himself. Peace, security, quiet, a life of prayer or study or teaching. But if his vocation is genuine, he finds that he has come not to take, but to give. We seek to leave a place cleaner than we found it, people happier than we found them, the world better than we found it." Okay? So when I think about this, I think about our energy, right? When you are carrying your energy into a room, and that's what when I say, like, we don't have to match people's energy. We just need to bring our energy, and our energy should be the dominant energy, right? Because we are aware. We are more aware than a lot of the masses, a lot of the people who don't study this stuff that we study. So we are more aware. So because we're more aware, we have more of a responsibility, right? So when we mix our energies, or when we bring our energies to the table or to around other people, our energy should be reflective of what's inside of us, right? So it shouldn't be filled with tension and negativity and pressure and, you know what I'm saying, rage and anger. Our energy will make people feel warm and feel secure and safe and happy and bright. You know what I'm saying? Not darkness, the light. Okay. We are nature. And if we look and observe nature carefully, nature is always serving. The sun provides heat and light. Trees give oxygen and shade. Water quenches our thirst. We can, and monks do, view everything in nature as serving. The Srimad Bhagavatam says, "Look at these fortunate trees. They live solely for the benefit of others. They tolerate wind, rain, heat, and snow, but still provide shelter for our benefit. The only way to be one with nature is to serve. It follows that the only way to align properly with the universe is to serve, because that's what the universe does." Okay? It follows that the only way to align properly with the universe is to serve, because that's what the universe does. The 16th century guru Rupa Goswami talks about yukta vairagya, which means to do everything for a higher purpose. That's real detachment, utter renunciation, perfection. Some monk sects strictly apply this standard to their practices, stripping themselves of material possessions altogether. But in reality, the rest of us need to work for a living. We're all going to end up owning stuff, but we can look at how we use what we have. We can use our homes to foster community. We can use our money and resources to support causes we believe in. We can volunteer our talents for those in need. It's not wrong to have things if we use them for good. The Bhagavad Gita sees the whole world as a kind of a school, an education system structured to make us realize our truth. To make us realize one truth. We are compelled to serve, and only in service can we be happy. Like fire is hot, as the sun is light and warm, service is the essence of human consciousness. Know the reality of the world in which you live. Know it to be impermanent, unreal, and the source of your suffering and delusion. Seeing the purpose of life to be sense gratification, making ourselves feel good, leads to pain and dissatisfaction. Seeing it as service leads to fulfillment. Okay. So service, and this is so funny because I have been saying for months that I'm gonna do some community service. I'm gonna do some volunteer service at the church and things of that nature. And it's so easy to get in the habit of making the plans but not acting on them, right? So this was a gentle reminder that, you know, that's another layer of service that I would like to provide, that I would like to do, because it'll make me happy and make me feel good and connect me to my purpose a little better, right? So this book club for me is like a service, my service to the universe, basically, right? I know that this is information that people need to be exposed to, and this is my way to expose people. But it got to go deeper than this, even deeper than this, right? More service, more giving, more unselfishness. Okay? Service is good for the body and soul. Service fills us on many levels, beginning with my simple belief that we're born wired to care for others, so service does us good. This instinct is most obvious in children who aren't yet distracted by other demands on their time and attention. An image that went viral shows a little girl, probably about 2 years old, watching a politician crying on Japanese TV. She takes a tissue, goes up to the TV, and tries to wipe away the politician's tears. Such things go viral because we recognize and perhaps miss the little girl's compassion for another person, even a stranger. In Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela writes, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, then they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." Just as Mandela believed people were born to love, but taught to hate, monks believe that we are born to serve, but the distractions of the external world make us forget our purpose. We need to reconnect with that instinct in order to feel like life has meaning. I have already touched on Joseph Campbell's concept of the mythic hero's journey. It is a formula describing the steps that a hero goes through when he embarks on an adventure, encounters trials and obstacles, and returns victorious. One of the key elements of the hero's journey is one we often overlook: the last stage, which Campbell called return with elixir. The hero's journey isn't fulfilled until he makes it home safely and shares what he has gained, the elixir, with others. The idea of service is woven into classic story structure as a key part of a happy ending. Sean Korn is living out the hero's journey. She made her name as a teacher of yoga asana. She was and still is a marquee teacher at yoga conferences and festivals around the world. But at one point in her career as a yoga teacher, she realized that with her platform, she could make an even more meaningful impact in the world. So she shifted her focus to serving at-risk communities. Korn decided to try bringing breath and meditation techniques to those in need, starting with the kids who've been sexually exploited. Then she grew her practice into working with other people society deems as outcasts, such as prostitutes and drug addicts. From that vantage point, she reached back into the yoga community to co-found Off the Mat, Into the World, a nonprofit that links yoga with activism. As dedicated as she is to service, Korn maintains that she gets more than she gives. She gets more than she gives. Find me someone who has gone to the darkest parts of their own character, where they were so close to their own self-destruction, and found a way to get up and out of it. And I will bow on my knees to you. You're my teacher. As Corn found, service gives back to us. Studies show that when we pursue compassionate goals, those aimed at helping others or otherwise helping to make the world a better place, we're less likely to have symptoms of anxiety and depression than when we focus on improving or protecting our own status or reputation. Okay? So when you shift the focus from self to everyone, you are less depressed, less this, less that, right? Because you're not just trying to make yourself perfect in this world of imperfectness, right? It doesn't even exist. Nobody is perfect, and we all getting better and better every single day. Every day that we bring that energy, right? You don't just get better every day by not doing anything, right? Faith without works is dead. So it has to be action behind it as well. You have to be intentional. You have to wake up with a positive mindset, right? Keeping yourself in alignment, meditating, journaling, affirmations, audios, reading. Studies show that when we pursue compassionate goals, those aimed at helping others or otherwise helping to make the world a better place, we're less likely to have symptoms of anxiety and depression than when we focus on improving or protecting our own status or reputation. The act of giving to others activates the pleasure center of our brain. It's win-win-win. This may be why those who help others tend to live longer, be healthier, and have a better overall sense of well-being. Monks believe that the pillar of service makes our lives better in many ways. Service connects us. When you serve, it's hard to be lonely. In most scenarios, you have to go out into the world to help other people. Service amplifies gratitude. Service gives you a broad view of all that you have. Service increases compassion. When you serve, you see that the world needs what you have to offer. Service builds self-esteem. Helping others tells you that you're making a difference in the world. You have a sense of meaning and purpose. The ashram is designed around the intention to serve, and it's easier to live with that as your highest intention when everyone around you is on board. A life of service is far more challenging in the modern world, and we can't all follow the monk's 24/7 model. But the monk practice shows us why and how we should adopt a service mindset. Okay? The service mindset. The word seva is Sanskrit for selfless service. The Bhagavad Gita says that giving simply because it is right to give without thought of return at a proper time in proper circumstances and to a worthy person is sattvic giving. Okay? So giving simply because it is right to give without thought of return at a proper time in proper circumstances and to a worthy person is sattvic giving. Giving in the mode of goodness. Monks are solely motivated by selfless service to give others opportunities that we had and didn't have, to better others' lives and the human condition. We took this mission to heart in small and large ways. Within the ashram, we tried to serve each other every day. Monks don't make grand gestures. Love is in the small things. If someone was having trouble waking up on time, we'd help them. If someone was working late, we'd save food for them. We are consistent and intentional. We remember that we never know what someone is going through. So we treat them with gentleness. We treat them with the gentleness you would give someone who is in pain, with the generosity you would give someone who is hungry, with the compassion you would give someone who is misunderstood. This attitude radiated beyond the ashram. When we traveled, we always carried extra food with us so that we had some to give away. We weren't ending world hunger, but to help any hungry person is to water the seeds of compassion. On a larger scale, we participated in a program called Annamrita, which provides more than 1 million meals a day to the underprivileged children of India. We often went to Mumbai to cook in the kitchens or to serve food in the schools. The students were given kachari, a rice and lentil porridge made with ghee that's considered a staple in Ayurvedic cooking. And afterward, they would receive dessert, a sweet rice pudding called kheer. The first time I handed a child kheer, her gratitude was so apparent that I was humbled. It was the same with every child, every time, each face radiating joy. I hate cooking, the hot kitchen full of people, the massive pots to be tended. But the kids' faces and the sad truth they told about how rare and special the food was to them made it easy to feel grateful for the opportunity to serve. At the ashram, instead of saying, "How was work?" we might ask, "Have you served today?" If you were wondering what monk water cooler talk sounds like, there you have it. Set aside the obstacles for a moment and imagine if everyone had a service mindset. Y'all know what I'm thinking about? This is probably so bad, but I'm thinking about my kids, right? You know how you ask your kid, okay, parents, we probably do over ask our kids to do stuff for us all the time, right? But sometimes when I'm asking my kids, they make it seem like it's the end of the world if I ask them to go do something, right? Like, and I'm just like, you have to be willing to serve, right? Y'all need to have a service mindset, right? We would ask ourselves new questions. How does this serve a broader purpose? How am I serving the people around me, at work, at home, in my community? How can I use my talents to serve others and make a difference? Remember Emma Slade, who uses her financial skills to serve her charity work, and ask yourself, what do I know that is of any use? We have seen that happiness and gratitude spread through communities. The same is true for service. When you serve, you mention it to your friends. You might bring someone else with you. Someone joins you and they tell 2 friends. When you participate in service, you do your part to spread the value of service in our culture. Most people think about just one person, themselves. Maybe their radius of care is a bit bigger, including their immediate family. That's maybe 5 to 10 people worrying about one another. But if you expand your radius of care, I believe that people feel it. If others extend their radius of care to include you, I believe that you would feel it. And what if we dare to imagine that everyone were thinking like this? You would have some 7.8 billion people thinking about you, and vice versa. I don't see why we shouldn't dream big. Okay, so we got to try this. Extend your radius of care. Think of 4 to 6 people you would drop everything to help. How often do you think about these people? Do you ever actually have a chance to show you care for them? Can you start? Now think of 20 people you would help if they asked. Before you give up, let me make that easier for you. Think of a group containing at least 20 people whom you would help. It might be a segment of your community or a group that a charity already serves. Let's bring these people into a closer circle of care. If you don't know them, research the names of 20 people in this group, or find another way to compile a list of at least 20 names. Tape the list to the mirror where you brush your teeth. Now you'll think of them at least twice a day, I hope. Observe how this changes your motivation to serve them. Okay? Observe how this changes your motivation to serve them. So basically putting them on your mind, right? Thinking about them might help you to serve them. Okay? Instead of thinking about self, right? Being selfish, you being selfless now. Okay? So I know this is something we all can work at, right? I know it's something I can work at. Just being more, not just saying, oh, I did the book club, I did my service for the day, right? No, it's a continuous thing, right? It's not a one and done thing. It's not is this a part of my morning routine? Then the rest of my day, I'm an angel during my morning routine. Then the rest of the day, I'm a devil. No, right? You want to maintain your frequency, your vibration, and your alignment throughout the whole day, right? And we've learned so many different ways to keep us in alignment when we fall out of alignment. When will you be ready to serve? Out in the modern world, no matter how much we want to help others, we are distracted from the service mindset by the desire to be financially and emotionally stable and secure. If you're lost and disconnected, your service will be cumbersome and less fulfilling. But when is the time right? Will it ever be right? Internal exploration has no endpoint. It's an ongoing practice. Your problems will never be completely solved. Take care of yourself, yes, but don't wait until you have enough time and money to serve, okay? That's major key, MOC. Don't wait until you have enough time and money to serve, okay? Why? Because as you get more, you'll want more, right? So you'll always feel like you in this constant state of doing, right? Instead of being. So you're trying to do more, get more, have more all the time. It never ends. So, don't wait until you have the time. Don't wait until you have the money. Serve anyway. You will never have enough. There are 3 simple modes to describe our relationship with money and material wealth. The first is selfish. I want more, as much as I can get, and I want it all for myself. Excuse me. The second is sufficiency. I have just enough to get by. I'm not suffering, but I have nothing to give. The third is service. I want to give what I have, and I want more in order to give more. Moving from the sufficiency mindset to the service mindset means changing our relationship with ownership. The more detached we are, the easier it is to let go of our time and money. Some of our trips as monks were pilgrimages to bathe in the sacred rivers. I went to the Ganges, the Yamuna, and the Kavari. We didn't swim or play in the holy waters. Instead, we performed rituals. One involved scooping as much water as we could into our hands, then putting it back in the river. We took from water to give back to water as a reminder that we didn't own anything. Charity isn't giving of yourself. You're taking something that was already on earth and giving it back to earth. You don't have to have to you don't have to give. You don't have to give. That's what it say, y'all. You don't have to give, okay? Sindhuta Sapkau was married at 12 to a 30-year-old man. When she was 20 years old with 3 sons, 9 months pregnant, she was beaten and thrown into a cowshed. She gave birth there, cutting her own umbilical cord with a sharp rock. Shunned by her maternal village, she lived on the streets with her newborn, begging and singing for money. She was struck by the number of orphans she saw and took them under her wing. She began begging on their behalf as well as her own. Her efforts grew, and she became known as the Mother of Orphans. Her organizations have now housed and helped more than 1,400 children in India. Sindhuta didn't serve because she had something to give. She served because she saw pain. In a series of experiments, researchers at University of California, Berkeley, found that people with less money actually tend to give more. In one situation, people were given $10 and told they could choose an amount to share with an anonymous stranger. People who were lower in socioeconomic status were more generous than wealthier participants. These findings are backed up by a survey of charitable giving in 2011, which showed that Americans in the bottom percentage of income gave, on average, 3% of their earnings to charity, where people in the top 20% gave half that, 1%. Just to be fair, the wealthy are still responsible for over 70% of charitable contributions. Why those with less give more may have to do with their exposure to hardship. UC Berkeley professor of psychology, Dacher Keltner, says that people with fewer resources tend to need to lean on others. Family members, friends, those in their community for help. Those with more money, conversely, can buy help and are therefore more distracted from this kind of day-to-day struggle. The poor may have greater empathy for others in need. Some philanthropists, such as Oprah Winfrey, have mentioned their own prior experience of poverty as a motivation for giving. The question to contemplate is, who is wealthier? The one with money or the one who serves? Okay? Who is wealthier? The one with money or the one who serves? Okay? And so this is where we are going to end it for today, family. What a great read. Service. I love how he is ending this book because it is just tying it all together, right? Everything that he talked about, ending it with this service is tying it all together. It's very reflective of what you think about when you think of a monk. It's a good reminder that serving is energy, right? Serving is us giving our energy. And you have to give to get, right? You have to give to get. So if you in a space where you feeling like you stuck, you're not getting the things you want, you're not able to manifest the things you've been desiring, try adding service to your routine, right? Just like we got our morning routine of reading, we got our routines of whatever we do to exercise and care for our physical bodies. How like add service to that, right? And make it go further than tithing, right? I know people tithe at church or whatnot. Like even more than that, like actually being active, going to do something with your hands, going to see something, right, with your eyes. Barb said, yes, this was good because sometimes we really don't think about serving others in that aspect. So this was good. Yeah, you definitely don't think about serving others. And it's so funny because I be the main one. Like, even at my house, y'all, I be telling my kids, like, y'all need to clean up. Like, y'all ain't got no maid. Y'all think y'all got a maid around this house. I'm not y'all maid, right? But that's not a good way to them, right? I'm programming them wrong. And I'm grateful that I realize that now so I can correct it now, right? Because no, I'm not a maid, but I am willing to serve. I am willing to help. I am willing to be a player on our team, right? That's how I teach my kids. Our household, we are a team. We are a family. So we all here to help each other, right? It's not one person make the mess and one person clean it all up. No, we all make the mess. We all clean it up. And we all should be okay with picking up the slack for each other, right? When I'm not feeling strong, you feeling strong. Okay, maybe you go the extra mile today. But maybe the next day you're not feeling strong and I'm feeling great. So I'll go the extra mile today, right? It's all about balance. It's all about communication. And like I said, for me, it's just about recognizing those programs, right? Because it comes out so quickly. Like, you just get frustrated. You see your house just junky toys and things everywhere. Like, y'all about to clean this up. Y'all ain't got no maid, blah, 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 blah. But that's not right, okay? That is not right. And I am done doing that. I won't be saying that no more, okay? Because I am a maid. I am willing to serve. I am willing to, especially my babies, my children, for my household, our home, right? I'm able to serve so our home can be clean, right? Cleanliness is next to godliness. So that's something that's very important to me to keep don't have a lot of energy scattered, right? Because if everything is energy and your house is just junky and it's a mess, that can drain you. That can make you feel low. That can drain your energy because all of that scattered energy just laying around. No, you want to clean that stuff up. So yes, we are going to stop it right here. We're going to pick back up tomorrow on page 264, and we're going to end the book tomorrow, okay? I honestly could have ended it today, but I dragged it out. I didn't want to end it, but we're going to end this book tomorrow. I'm kind of like 100% sure. So super grateful. I will see y'all tomorrow. Protect your energy today, as always. Protect your peace today. Don't let the energy vampire steal your joy. Don't be so hard on yourself today. I feel like people, I don't know why I feel this, but I feel like, people been being really hard on themselves, really judgmental, self-judging. Don't judge yourself today. Just be kind, be light, be a feather. Accept yourself, right? And the Reiki that I had last night, she said, our shadow sides can be being exposed right now because the sun is in Leo. So the sun exposes things, right? The sun shines light on things. So it might be light being shined on a lot of different areas in your life. And instead of running away from them or letting them make you feel bad about things, just observe them, right? Observe them, be grateful for them, be grateful for the opportunities to grow from them, right? Because you can learn when things are not going the way you want them to go. That's an opportunity to learn. That's an opportunity to grow. Okay. So that's it, y'all. You have a blessed and super fantastic day as well, Barb. I am your sister in love. I am your sister in light, and I will see y'all in the morning. Have a good day. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.